Krishna Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Shatatarasya Shivanas Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Maharaj ki Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Friends for whole Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakti Vrinda ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan ki Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Navadvait Mayapur Dham ki Jagannath Puri Dham ki Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai ki Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi ki Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda ki Shri Nrisimha Jayanti ki Shri Nrisimha Jayanti ki Shri Nrisimha Dev Jayanti ki Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru Shri Gauranga.
What is that?
Kashi
भगवान की जय, भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Rama Rama.
Rama Rama.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Today is Nrisimha Chaturdasi, the transcendental auspicious appearance day of Lord Nrisimha's appearance. And in this pastime we see that actually the Lord goes to no measures, or will go to all measures in order to protect his devotees. This is a very dear day to those that are followers of the Vaishnava tradition, especially those here at the ISKCON. It's a couple of events that will be happening today. We're going to hear a discourse on the Leela of Lord Nrisimha and his unalloyed devotee Prahlad. We're going to have an opportunity then to offer flower petals and Kirtan to Lord Nrisimha. We have Prahlad Nrisimha, the deity that came from Krishna Priya and Nandalal Bhovan's house. So they were nice enough to share Lord Nrisimha with us today. So we'll do a little worship of them, and again everybody will be able to offer some flower petals. And then we're going to have a drama reenacting the Leela of Lord Nrisimha. And then we're going to have a very special arti at 7:30, where Lord Jagannath is going to manifest himself as Lord Nrisimha. So please stay with us for the whole evening. Prasadam will be a little bit later than usual. I mentioned this a couple times in the last couple of weeks, so hopefully you can come prepared to stay a little bit longer. And just all happy to have you all together tonight. So Ramcharan Prabhu, he's going to be speaking to us this evening. Ramcharan Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj. He's very specialized in giving classes on Bhagavatam, following in his spiritual master's footsteps. He's been giving classes nearly every night, not every night, on Srimad Bhagavatam, and speaking, hearing about the Bhagavatam. This pastime comes from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Ramcharan Prabhu, he's served in many capacities here, continues to serve in many capacities here in Philadelphia, as a board member, as a team leader in many different ways, Sankirtan leader. I'm just very happy to have him with us tonight on this auspicious day to share the transcendental glories of Lord Nrisimha. So please help me welcome Ramcharan Prabhu.
यो विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवर्तिकाचार्य भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रीदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री गौर भक्त श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण को पूर्ण श्याम को राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन वृंदावन धाम की संगीत धाम की गंगा मैया की यमुना मैया की भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी नाम संकीर्तन समवेत भक्त वृंद की भक्ति विघ्न विनाशक नृसिंहदेव भगवान की भक्ति विघ्न विनाशक नृसिंहदेव भगवान की भक्ति विघ्न विनाशक नृसिंहदेव भगवान की गौर प्रेमानंद और ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय 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 special Sunday feast program. We are celebrating Nrisimha Chaturdasi. So, as we already mentioned that this is a very special festival, especially for all of us, all the devotees here. I always remember that when I start coming to this ISKCON, the very first thing that we learn is the Nrisimha prayer. And you know why? Because the main thing is that this material world is a miserable place. Nobody wants to live here. No good man. All demons, crazy people are there in this material world. And our only shelter is that we want protection. And that's why we always take shelter of Nrisimha. And all the kids, like right from the beginning, the very first thing we learn is Nrisimha prayer. This is very, very special, for all of us. And Lord Nrisimha like protects us. And we have personally feel it, isn't it? Like all of us, we feel so much that we always have protection of Lord Nrisimha. So it's very special festival for us. So we'll as Prabhu mentioned, we are going to discuss about the pastimes. It is very beautiful pastime, like Lord Nrisimha's pastime in the 7th canto. So today is like, as we say, the appearance day of Lord Nrisimha. So who is Lord Nrisimha? So everyone knows, is very beautiful prayer like Tavakara Kamal Vari Nakham Adbhuta Shingham. So most of the time we basically recite, but we never really go into deep what exactly like Jayadeva Goswami is writing. This is a very beautiful prayer written by Jayadeva Goswami, one of our acharyas, and it's called Dashavatara Stotram. So in that he writes that Tavakara Kamal Vari. He's basically glorifying Lord Krishna, saying Tava means your. He's saying that Kara Kamal Vare. Kara is basically like hands. It's Kamal Vare. It's a lotus. It's like a lotus petal. Now, whenever we compare Lord's body or Lord's hands, Lord's eyes, Lord's feet, we always compare the lotus. That is the most beautiful and soft thing in this material world. But even like lotus cannot compare with the Lord. But there is nothing more than that here. So we always compare, like all in the scripture we compare with the lotus. So lotus is so soft. And we generally think that Lord Nrisimha is very fearful, very strong, right? But here he's saying that your hands are like a lotus petals. But your fingers, like your nails, Nakham Adbhuta Shingham. Your nails are like very sharp. And why nails are very sharp? In the next one he says, and he is like bigger, more stronger than a mountain. And then with his nails, Lord Nrisimha rips apart the body like what? Like a vase. He just tear it apart like this, without any effort. Just finish, do it. And Lord Nrisimha, they tear the body of Hiranyakashipu like without any effort. So then he explained Keshava Dhrita. Keshava is basically Lord Krishna. Keshava is very beautiful name, you know, like there are many meanings. Like Keshava means who has a very beautiful long hair. Krishna has very beautiful long hair. We see Radha Sundari, he has beautiful hairs. And another meaning of Keshava is like killer of the Keshi demon. You know, he actually like Keshi came in the form of a what form Keshi took it when he came to Vrindavan? Horse. And Lord Krishna, what he did? How he killed Keshi demon? He put his hand in the mouth of Keshi demon, and that hand became so hot. And then Keshi just choked up and then he gave up his body. So he is the killer of Keshi demon. Also one of the another meaning is Keshava means Ka means represent Brahma, and Isha means Lord Shiva, and Va means the controller of the owner. Who is the controller and the owner of both Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva? That is Keshava. So Keshava Dhrita Narahari Rupa. He assumed the form of Narahari. Now Narahari is very interesting word, you know. Nara means the human being, and Hari means Hari actually means lion. You remember? You know that or not? Why lion is called Hari? Because it takes away your pran, your life. It takes away Hari in that form. That's why it's called Hari. Even lion is called Hari. Right? So that's why it says half lion, half man. Narahari. We say Nrisimha, but Narahari means half man, half lion. Hari is one of the name of lion also. That's a Narahari Rupa. That's a form that he took it, and no one have ever seen this form in the world. Even today, like in the history of the world, we haven't seen any kind of form where you have the face of a lion and the body of a man. So Narahari, very special. Narahari Rupa. Jaya Jagadish Hari. So we are glorifying, we are offering our obeisances to Jagadish, who is the owner of this world, who is the controller of this world. Hari is the Lord Hari. So this is a very beautiful prayer actually. And there are like another 10 prayers, total 10 prayers, but this is one of them. So who is Lord Nrisimha Dev? Lord Nrisimha Dev is Lord Krishna himself. So today, as we say, like is Chaturdasi, like this is the 14th day in the waxing moon, and according to lunar calendar, this is the month of Vaishak. If you follow, you know, like the previous was Chaitra, where a lot of people celebrate, you know, Ugadi, or the first day of New Year. Many places in India they celebrate Chaitra, when the Chaitra started their first year, the year started, and then this is the Vaishak after that, and it's very hot in India actually. very hot. And this is also according to our Vaishnava calendar that we basically do. It is Madhusudan month. Basically, we are celebrating this festival. Coincidentally, today is actually the Purnima also, and there is a lunar eclipse today. If you want to see, in the night starting at 10:40 in Philadelphia. So there is lunar eclipse, and we see the same lunar eclipse in the when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. So that's something. So now, but why we celebrate the festival? See, we have various festivals like Nrisimha Chaturdasi, Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima. Why we celebrate this festival? Anyone would like to say? Why we celebrate this festival? Yes, Guru.
The Lord's appearance is very joyous.
Yes.
So we have a joyous festival.
Yes.
Remember?
To participate in the birthday party of the Lord. Lord appeared, so we are basically happy and we want to enjoy the party. Any other reason? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me divyam evam veti tatvata tayaktva deham punajanam neti mamiti swarjuna. Krishna saying that in Bhagavad Gita that my janma and my karma, they are not ordinary like you and like we see so many people are taking birth every day, and we are doing activity every moment. Somebody is doing something, right? Like they are making garlands, right? If in ordinary course you are making garland for outside someone, it's a normal activity. But here whatever we are doing is a transcendental activity. So Krishna says, Janma karma cha vitrima. My activity and my birth, they are not ordinary. They are transcendental. And when we know that, what happens? Tayaktva deham. This body, Krishna says, this body, whatever we have, tayaktva deham punarjanam neti mamita swarjuna. There will be no more birth. You will not take another body, another material body. Means you will take spiritual body, but you will not take another material body. So the point is that when we celebrate, it's a time for us to remember that Krishna is the supreme personality of God. So that remembers us, like every day we are doing so much work, sometimes we forget, chant Hare Krishna, but these are special days where we remember Krishna, and we remember that how Krishna comes to protect his devotees, how Krishna appears, how merciful he is. Today's, like especially this fasting of Lord Nrisimha, is represent the Bhakta Vatsala feature of the Lord. How much love he has for his devotees. How much love for his devotees. So he appeared here. So, and Krishna says in the same chapter, he says that Yada ilahi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata abhyutthana dharmasya tadatmanam sarjamyam paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge. So Krishna saying that I appear millennium after millennium. He is giving three reasons here. First, is to establish dharma. Whenever there is a decline in the religious principle, he comes here and he reestablishes the religious principles. And he comes here to protect the devotees. Mainly he comes for protection of the devotees, and along with that he annihilated demons. So today we see that Lord is doing that thing. He is coming and protecting Prahlad, who is very dear most devotee, and he is killing the atheist, the greatest atheist in the history of the world, Hiranyakashipu. So we'll see that at this pastime is mentioned as Prabhu mentioned that Srimad Bhagavatam. 7th canto, the pastime, very beautiful pastime, start from chapter 1. There is discussion between Sukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. And he asks a question about the lords, like whether Lord is partial, whether the Lord is equal. In that regard, he starts narrating the discussion what happened in the Rasu Yagna between Narad Muni and Yudhishthira Maharaj. So the 7th canto, at the end of the first chapter, Yudhishthira Maharaj asked this question to Narad Muni, that what is the reason why Hiranyakashipu want to kill his son? Normally in the world we see that father loves his son very much, that he gives everything to his son, even his property. Even though son is disobedient, son doesn't listen at all. As a mother and father want to give, isn't it? That's a normal nature. Even though son is very disobedient, don't do anything, he's scolding you, do it, but we want to give. That's the nature. But here, son is very, very obedient, great devotee of the Lord, but still father wants to kill him. And not even kill him, is trying again and again, we see that. So what is the reason? Yudhishthira Maharaj is very surprised. This doesn't digest to me. Something is there, some secret is there. Why this has happened actually? I want to hear it about that. So the 7th canto, like discuss about one of the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam called Utiya. There are 10 subject matters we discuss in Srimad Bhagavatam. Atra sargo visargascha sthanam posham Utiya. Manmantirishu shanugata nirodhi mukti ashira. So one of the topic like Utiya, which is karma vasana, is basically discussed in this in the 7th canto. So this 7th canto, Srila Prabhupada mentioned in this 7th canto is basically this particular pastime is very, very, very like important for us to understand. See, in this world we see there is a devotee and there are non-devotees, like atheists. So this particular pastime actually, you see, atheists are very hypocrite. They don't believe in God, or they say that if there is God, he is dead or he is gone, right? And the way they see the God and the way the devotee see the God, in the same pastime we'll see. On one side we have Hiranyakashipu, the greatest atheist, and one side we have a devotee Prahlad. And how Lord appeared in front of both of them. In front of Prahlad, he is an all merciful Lord, ready to give the benediction. And in front of Hiranyakashipu, he came as death. Isn't it? So this is the difference. That Prabhupada says like people say like show me God, show me God. Like that's what like people say like if there is a God, show me. Like, that's why Hiranyakashipu told like Prahlad, if there is a God, let him come. I want to see. So that's what like he appeared and then he did that. In the 7th canto, we are discussing two main characters like Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj. So Prabhupada says that Hiranyakashipu is a representative of materialistic desire, your material desires. He is a personification of your material desires. Hiranyakashipu, we see the word Hiranya means
Good.
the gold, and Kashipu means the bed or the place where you reside. Soft cushion or bed. So if you see that in today's world, all people want to enjoy sense gratification through their body. The body is the main thing. If you really want to enjoy sense gratification, what do you need? You need a healthy body. For that, what do you need? In order to have a good body, what do you need? Gold. And gold means money. Gold means like the wealth you want to. So main thing is that like that Hiranyakashipu is basically representative of this materialistic way of life. So why Hiranyakashipu like want to kill Prahlad Maharaj? There's a background behind that. So we'll go listen like the background of this. Hiranyakashipu is nothing but like he is the Jad Vijay in the Vaikuntha. And they were the doorkeeper, they were devotees of the Lord, they were doorkeepers there. So one time, 4 Kumaras, they were visiting, they would want to see the Lord, and they went to Vaikuntha, and Jad Vijay stopped them, entering into the Vaikuntha planet. So all the 4 Kumaras, they are the first sons of Lord Brahma. They became very angry and they cursed Jad Vijay. And because of that, what happened is, they have to take 3 births in the material world. And because of that curse, they have to choose the position of like in a body of which is envious towards Krishna. So as I say that this 7th canto discuss about the subject matter Utiyam. Utiyam means what? Karma Vasana. So if we will see in this 7th canto very nicely that one person who is a devotee, he became like a demon and start becoming envious of the Lord. And on the other side, a person who born in a demon family become the greatest devotee. And what is the reason? Our Acharya explained the reason is that when you offend a devotee, even though you are a devotee, you will act like a demon later because of your offense. But if you are a demon or you are born in a low family, but if you serve a devotee and you get mercy of a devotee, you will become a greatest devotee. So it is called Mahat Seva or Mahat Kripa. We see that like in the case of Hiranyakashipu, like they were Jad Vijay because they offend. They actually insulted the four Brahmanas. Because of that curse, they have to take the position of enemy of Krishna. Right? And on the other side, we see this is the word of Prahlad Maharaj also. So first reason is that they have to take the position of enemy of Krishna right from that curse. Second thing is that when both Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh were there, so Hiranyaksh, he was like creating so much problem in the society. So to kill him, Lord took the form of a boat, Varahadev. He came as Lord Varahadev and he killed Hiranyaksh. And the time he killed Hiranyaksh, after that Hiranyakashipu's envious nature become more stronger. Now he don't want to even hear the word of Lord Vishnu. And if anyone say any words, he is ready to kill that person. So he's so envious. He don't want to see anyone like even taking the name of Lord Vishnu. So from that perspective, he becomes so materialistic. And he became so envious of Lord Vishnu because he killed his brother. So he thought that I am going to kill Lord Vishnu. For that, he thought let me do tapasya, austerity, because he know that Lord Brahma became Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma's post is called Parameshti Pal. Parameshti is the topmost in management. In this universal management, Lord Brahma's post is the topmost. So Lord Brahma got this post by doing tapa, austerity. So he thought like I also do the austerity. So he went to Mandrachal mountain and he wanted to do tapasya. And what he was looking for? He wanted to become Ajay. Ajay means he wanted to become unconquerable by the enemy. He wanted to become Ajar. That means he don't want to become old. Don't want to become old, don't want to get any disease, those kind of things. And he wants to become Amar. Amar means immortal. He don't want to die. And then he also want to become like, he don't want anyone is opposition. Generally, when somebody get a post, they want to defeat their opposition party, right? So he want a post where there is no opposition. And he just want to be the one king in the world. Ekha Rajan. He just want that I will be the only king, everyone will be the under me. And he achieved it. We will see that after when he got power from Lord Brahma, he became so powerful that except Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, he controlled everyone. He controlled the whole world except these three. And then even when Lord Brahma appeared, when he was doing tapasya, his austerity was so severe that his body was overeaten by the ants, and he was basically just standing on his toe, and he's keeping his life there in the bones. And when Lord Brahma came there, because he was doing the great tapasya, Lord Brahma came there, and then he asked benediction. So what benediction he was asking? Anyone know what benediction he asked? That I should not die inside and outside. I should not die in day, in the night. I should not die by any living beings or non-living beings. I should not die by any weapons. I should not die by like the ground or in the sky. I should not die by any human being or animal. I should not die by any demons or demigods or snakes. He tried to cover everything. He tried to cover everything. Srila said that because he was afraid that he might die by natural death. So he said that I shouldn't die inside or outside. Because some people are in their house because of some disease they die. You don't want to die with that. So he said I shouldn't die inside and outside. If I on my bed, I don't want to die like that. And he don't want to die the day and night. And we'll see that like Lord Nrisimha, they killed him at the time of dusk. And he don't want any rival, as we discussed. And he want mystic powers. Mystic powers. He was also looking for those mystic powers. So he got all those things. And after that, we see in the 4th chapter, in the 7th canto, that he started terrorizing the whole world. He would start terrorizing the whole world, and he's basically like controlling everything. And he was like becoming so cruel that he's creating problem for everyone. But Lord's plan was something different. So in his family only, Prahlad Maharaj appeared. So what is Prahlad? Prahlad means Prakashtena Rupa Ahlad. The word Prahlad means Prakashtena Rupena Ahlad. Ahlad means joy. Joy means happiness. Prakashta Rupena means unlimited happiness or happiness which is beyond our understanding. So much happiness. So Prahlad Maharaj was always joyful. You see, Krishna is always joyful. Have you seen Krishna like anytime in anxiety or tension? Krishna is always ek rasa, always smiling. We haven't seen any picture where Krishna is taking tension. What to do now? What is next? All of us goes in some tension, some troubles, but Krishna is always smiling. And Prahlad Maharaj is also joyful. Always. That's why his name is Prahlad. Always joyful. And why is joyful? Because he was not worried about material things. We become in anxiety or we take tensions because we are worried about our material things. We have fear that this thing will go away, that thing will go away, somebody will take this, somebody will take this. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, I will tell you, one of the main important point is that we get fear because the time we get this body, we start getting fear. The very important verse, if you see in the 11th canto, like this is mentioned, our fear is because of our body only. That as long as we have material body, we will be fearful. It's very difficult to take out this fear. So how to get out of the fear? We have to learn from Prahlad. Because Srila Prabhupada says that Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nasuchna Kankshati. In the 18th chapter, verse number 54. When you become Krishna conscious, you become joyful. You become joyful. When you accept Krishna as your protector, when you take center of Krishna, there is no worry. Become joyful. That's why Prabhupada says, chant and be happy. Chant and be happy. Because when you take center of Krishna, there is no Brahmabhuta Prasannatma Nasuchana Kankshati. So Prahlad means Prasannatma. You are joyful, ever joyful. No tension at all. And that's what Prahlad was. And so now our point is that Prahlad born in the family of a Hiranyakashipu, but how come he became the greatest devotee? So when Hiranyakashipu was doing tapasya, like for going for austerity, so Devatas, they were very scared of Hiranyakashipu because he was terrorizing the world, he was so powerful. So when Hiranyakashipu went for doing austerity, Devatas attacked the city of Hiranyakashipu. And when they attack, they start like taking revenge because they were very much tortured by Hiranyakashipu, so they were very angry. So they were really ready to take the revenge. And when they entered into the palace of Hiranyakashipu and they saw Kayadu, and Kayadu they saw, oh, the wife of Hiranyakashipu. Then Indra saw, oh, she's pregnant. He became, my God, here is Julian Hiranyakashipu. She is going to give birth to a son who will become another Hiranyakashipu, so our trouble will become double. There is one Hiranyakashipu and second one. So what should we do? So they made a plan. Let's kidnap her. Let's kidnap her, and then when she will deliver the baby, we'll kill the baby, and we will basically leave this woman. But this is not good. How come demigod does this kind of thing? This is not good, right? Like King Indra is doing this kind of activity. But he was so scared of Hiranyakashipu. He was so much tortured by Hiranyakashipu that he refused to do this act. Then he kidnapped Kayadu and he was taking. While he was taking, Narad Muni was coming from the other side. He said, Indra, what are you doing? This doesn't suit to you. Like you are the king of demigod. What are you doing? You are basically capturing another's wife. It's not good. He said, no. She's pregnant and she is going to give birth to another Hiranyakashipu. Narad Muni said, no. Even though you want to kill this person, you will not be able to kill him because he is Bali. He is very powerful person. Indra said, how come he is powerful? He is in the home. When he is going to come, I will kill. No. Because he is a devotee of the Lord. You cannot touch him. Because he is a devotee of the Lord. He is Mahabhagavat. You can't even touch him. As soon as Indra heard this, that he is a great devotee of the Lord, he left Kayadu and he circumambulated Kayadu. उसी समय, at that time, he just circumambulated Kayadu. He offered obeisances to Prahlad Maharaj while he was in the home, and then he left. And then, Narad Muni actually gave the instruction to Kayadu. But his goal was to give instruction to Prahlad Maharaj. He was giving instruction to Prahlad Maharaj via Kayadu.
Oh.
So, because of that, Prahlad Maharaj, even though he was coming in a family of demons, because of the mercy of Narad Muni, as I say, because Narad Muni's mercy was there, he became the greatest devotee. So that's a reason, that's the way a person become a devotee. What is the reason? Everyone got it? How a person become a great devotee or a devotee? Vaishnava Kripa, Mahat Kripa. There is no other way. You see all the Shastras, you will not find any other way to become a devotee until you get the mercy of a devotee. Without that, you will not get bhakti. I am studying Bhakti Sandarbha. I am telling you from there, the whole study of Jiva Goswami says that without the mercy of devotees, you will not get devotional service, the mercy of Krishna. And that's what Prahlad did service. You just tell me, like a child in the womb, what he's doing, he's just lying there. But what he did is just listen to the instruction of Narad Muni. Sincere listening from a Vaishnava, from a devotee of the Lord, will make you great devotee. This is right. This is a perfect example of hearing, isn't it? Even we have an example of Parishit Maharaj. He heard the Srimad Bhagavatam and what he got. He went back home, back to Godhead within 7 days. Right? And here Prahlad Maharaj, he heard from pure devotee, Narad Muni. And by that he became the greatest devotee. So because he's a devotee, he has a lot of good qualities. In the 4th chapter, it mentioned Prahlad Maharaj was such a great devotee that some of the qualities are mentioned. I'll just name few of them. That he's a very kind. He's very compassionate. He wants to deliver the whole world. In our International Society of Krishna Consciousness, we actually took the mood of Prahlad Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada came in the mood of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj took the challenge. He was the only person in the whole family of the whole world who are basically saying that Krishna is Supreme Personality of God and I am a devotee of Krishna. Nobody could say in front of Hiranyakashipu that I am a devotee of the Lord. But Prahlad Maharaj challenged Hiranyakashipu that I am the devotee of the Lord. If you want to do it, do whatever you want to do. And Srila Prabhupada, that's why Srila Prabhupada took the mood of Prahlad Maharaj and he came to preach. Prahlad Maharaj's mood is to preach. He was very compassionate on the living entities. One of the prayer when Lord Nrisimha Dev appeared, he preached that Nrisimha Dev say like take some benediction. Prahlad say, I'm not worried about myself, my Lord. I will get delivered myself by hearing your katha from the devotees. I am worried about the people who are suffering here. Please take care of them. I am worried about them. I am not worried about myself. That's why Srila Prabhupada, he was not worried about himself. In 1965 when he came, was he worried about himself? He was not worried about himself. He came for all of us. He took the risk in the age of 70. At the age of 69, he took the risk to board on a, like Jalduta, on this board, and to came here for what? To give us this so that we can celebrate the Lord's festival. That's the mood that Prahlad Maharaj had. And Srila Prabhupada took that mood, and for preaching, we have to be compassionate like Prahlad Maharaj. One of the best quality of Prahlad Maharaj is that what I heard from my Guru Maharaj, he said that he is Shil Sampanna. Shil Sampanna means like when you meet someone, like you meet someone who is elder to you. So he said that when you meet somebody elder to you, first of all you should become an obedient servant of that person. If you are a senior like your mother, father, your spiritual master, senior devotees and all, you should become a menial servant and be obedient to that person. Second thing is that if you meet someone who is equal to you, you become a friend with them, like a brother, like a friend. And when you see someone lower than you, because you will find this kind of people in the world. Somebody you will see, somebody who is high, somebody who is low, somebody who is same thing. So how to deal with that? Prahlad Maharaj is the best example that how to deal with. So when you see somebody lower than you, be merciful on them. Don't torture them, don't scold them, don't think, oh, they are lower people, no. Be merciful on them. That's why Srila Prabhupada took this mood that he want to distribute this Krishna consciousness to the whole world. So this is the very important feature of Prahlad Maharaj. And also he was very tolerant. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Pranal Pishuni Chena, Talura Pishaishna, Amanina Manadina, Kirtaniya Sadhara. And then Prahlad Maharaj also actually exhibited this quality of tolerance. He was so tolerant that his own father was ready to kill him. Not one time. Hundreds of times he tried to kill him. But he never said even a single word about his father. That my father is wrong. When Lord Nrisimha Dev came and killed Hiranyakashipu, you know what he did? He begged to him, please deliver my father. He offended you. See, like somebody who's trying to kill you so many times, how can you ask beg for that person and that to your own father? But Prahlad Maharaj said no. My father actually disobeyed you. He was trying to kill you. He was your enemy. But as a son, it is my duty to deliver my father. So please be merciful on my father. He asked that benediction for me. So you see that how tolerant Prahlad Maharaj was. If somebody says some bad word to us, we become, hey, how can you say to me? we become so passionate to take revenge. He put it in a boiling oil. He administered poison. So many times he given, not one time, many times, but he did not say a single word. He was too much. He was tolerant about it. So that is one of the beautiful quality of Prahlad Maharaj. So now I would like to, before we end, I just want to recite the prayer that Prahlad Maharaj is offering to Lord Nrisimha Dev. It is recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, 18th chapter, where Lord Nrisimha Dev resided in the tract of the land called Harivarsha. There, Prahlad Maharaj is offering this prayer to Lord Nrisimha Dev. So if you know, you can recite it with me, or I can say one word and you can follow. So, is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, chapter 18, text number 8 and 9. If you want to follow it. So I'll say one word, you follow after me. Right? Om Namo Bhagavate Nrisimhaya Namah Tejase Avi Bhava Vajra Nakha Vajra Dramshta Umishtha Om Shrom. So I'll read a translation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrisimha, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activities in this material world. Please appear in our heart. So, Lord Nrisimha, like Prahlad Maharaj is offering, not for him, he is offering prayer for all of us. Please appear in our heart and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. So if you see this, in this prayer, the main important point, what Prahlad Maharaj is praying there, he want Lord Nrisimha Dev to appear in the heart. Right? Lord Nrisimha Dev, please come and appear in my heart. First thing is that. So he's asking Lord to come in my heart and appear. And then he's asking Lord to vanquish our demon-like desires. What desires? Fruitive activities. Our karma vasana, kam vasana, whatever the lust, whatever the desires we have for our material sense gratification. So he's asking Lord to please kill those desires, because it is very hard for us to give up those desires. If we see like it's very hard for us to give up those desires, because these desires are very powerful. It is there from a long period of time in our heart. Right from the beginning, it's there in our heart. When we become separate from Krishna, this desire for lust is there. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, you see like where which are the places of our lust is there. And main is our heart. So we are asking Lord Nrisimha Dev to appear in our heart. As you killed the Hiranyakashipu, similarly you kill our demon-like desire, right? Which is fruited activity. So this is the one thing that he is asking. And then he is asking also, so please drive our ignorance. As I say, like we are very fearful in this material world. Because of what? Because what we think, that we think we are the body. The time we think we are the body, we become fearful. So what we are asking from Lord Nrisimha Dev is that please drive our ignorance, and so that we become fearless, as like Prahlad Maharaj. As we say, Prahlad Maharaj was very fearless. In front of Hiranyakashipu, he said that I see Lord everywhere. When Hiranyakashipu challenged, do you see the Lord here? Yes, my Lord. I see my Lord in the pillar also. Yeah. So I was hearing Prabhupada lecture. At that time Prabhupada said that Lord Nrisimha Dev appeared in the pillar and gave darshan to Prahlad Maharaj and said, don't worry, I am here. You just say that I am here, and then don't worry, I am here. And then that's what Prahlad said, my Lord is here. And then, because as we say, Hiranyakashipu is atheist, he challenged. And then say, okay, I am going to break this pillar, and then if Lord is there, let him come. And that's what we see, like Lord appeared from pillar. Lord can appear from anywhere. Sometimes people challenge us, how can Lord come in like this? We have deities. Like we have one deity from the marble, one is from the wood, and one from the metal. Lord can appear anywhere. And that this particular pastime shows that Lord can appear from anywhere. He can appear from the pillar also. So that's why here Lord, like Prahlad Maharaj is asking, make me fearless. Fearless means like make us fearless by taking our ignorance. And the second prayer, like which we basically going to discuss that, which I'm going to end with that. So I'm going to say the word, you follow me. Swasti Astu Vishvasya Dhala Prasidata Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitho Dhiya Manas Cha Bhadram Bhajatar Adhokshaje Avishatam No Mati Apya Ahetuki. The translation is, may there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing Bhakti Yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of Supreme Transcendence, Lord Shri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. See, this is called universal prayers. Sometimes we pray this or that, like, you know, this is Prahlad Maharaj praying for all of us. What he's saying that may there be good fortune throughout the universe, not just me and you, or not my family member. I just want like for me and my brother or my wife or my family. No. Prahlad, for everyone. Good fortune for everyone. He's praying like that. And he's saying that all envious person be pacified. Nobody should be envious of each other. Everyone should be pacified. And by how this can happen is, by practicing bhakti yoga, devotional service, by becoming Krishna conscious. Only this thing, what Prahlad Maharaj is saying, it can be achieved only when the whole world become Krishna conscious. And that's his mood. He want everyone to become Krishna conscious. And that's what Prabhupada also wants, all of us to become Krishna conscious. So that's why I'm saying like, Srila Prabhupada is basically giving the message what Prahlad Maharaj was trying to give in the Srimad Bhagavatam. By accepting devotional service, so that we can think of each other's welfare. Until we become devotee of Krishna, we cannot think really welfare of each other. That's why Prabhupada always used to write, you are ever well-wisher. When you become a devotee, then you can really do good for other person. Otherwise, first of all, you don't know what is the real good for you, for a person. So in order to make good, we first have to become ourselves Krishna conscious. Therefore, Prabhupada always says that first you become Krishna conscious, then make other people Krishna conscious. Right? So first we have to become a devotee and then we will make other people devotees. So then we will do each other's welfare by encouraging them, by involving them in Krishna conscious activities. So then in the last let us all engage in the service of Supreme Transcendence, Lord Shri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. This is what, because Prahlad Maharaj exemplified the process of Smaranam. You remember Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam. So Prahlad Maharaj always remembering Krishna. Every moment, not a single moment he was missing. When Hiranyakashipu threw him like a boiling oil or from the mountain or whatever, constantly remembering Krishna, And because of that, not even a scratch came in the body of Prahlad Maharaj. He always protected by that. That's why he saying that always remains in the thought of him. And we know Prahlad Maharaj is one of the great Mahajans. Prabhupada says that we have to follow the Mahajan. So whatever Prahlad Maharaj says, we should follow, right? And what Prahlad Maharaj is saying that we should become a devotee of Krishna and do welfare for each other. So let's follow Prahlad Maharaj because he's one of the Mahajans. And Prabhupada says that we should basically do Anusharana, not Anukarana. We cannot become as I am saying myself, I cannot become like Prahlad, but I should at least follow the instruction given to Prahlad Maharaj, and that's the way we can actually really take this message on this auspicious day that we'll follow whatever the instruction that Prahlad Maharaj gave and try to become the devotee of Krishna and make our life successful. So let me stop here and see if there is anyone have any question or comments. Or anyone who would like to share their realization. That's also good.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice. I learned about Hari.
Oh, Hari.
About
Okay.
Raj. I didn't know.
Okay, that's very nice. Thank you for that. So is it over? Time is over.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next part. We'll move on to the next part.
Okay, sure. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much, Ram Sharan Prabhu, for a wonderful discourse on Lord Srinivas and Prahlad Maharaj. As I was looking back there at Vijay Makarya, I was thinking of Jai and Vijay, who are the doorkeepers into the temple in Vaikuntha. You had to really be careful not to offend anybody as they were coming in. I wanted to ask everybody, there's a big open space up here in the front, and it's getting really to the deities. And we're also going to have Pushpa Abhishek, which means a flower offering to Lord Srinivas. This particular deity of Lord Nrisimha is worshipped by Nanda Dalal and Krishna Priya Govan. They bring it for Nrisimha Chaturdasi every year. We're very grateful for that you share Prahlad Nrisimha with us. And also as part of the Pushpa Abhishek, there is you can't see it in here, but it's a piece of jewelry called the Nrisimha Kavacha. It's silver, and inside of it is wrapped the prayers of the Nrisimha Kavacha, which is prayers of protection, chanted to Lord Nrisimha. Oftentimes you'll see devotees put it on either their beads, their tulsi beads they wear around their neck, or a string that they wear around their neck or their arm. So
what's it for?
It's to prayer. It's for protection of Lord Nrisimha, and to have it's an auspicious item to have the Lord, prayers to the Lord on your body.
So if you wear that, you get Lord Nrisimha's protection. Is that the idea?
I believe so. Yeah. So if you want to have Lord Nrisimha's mercy and presence on your body, you can get one of these Nrisimha kavachas. And then also we have we call this a pavitra. These are a special type of garland that's offered to Lord Nrisimha. And if you do the Pushpa Abhishek, what will happen is I'll have a pujari, Suhi Garanda is right there. There'll be a garland already on Lord Nrisimha, and they'll take that garland off and give it to you, and then they'll offer your garland to Lord Nrisimha, and then the next person will get your garland, and you'll keep offering it like that. We want to ask that we want everybody to have darshan of Nrisimha, and then also Lord Nrisimha to be able to see everybody who's chanting to them. So if you do this, don't stand in front like this. We're going to stand to the side so that you can have darshan throughout. Now the last thing I'll say, we don't want to do this too much, and we've actually been really good about it, but we're going to ask to have a couple cars move. There is a car, it's a black Hyundai Elantra, license plate LTE 2661. It's parked in such a way, you didn't do anything wrong, but it's parked in such a way that if we were just able to move you, we could probably fit about 5 or 6 more cars in. And then a couple more cars. If we can just move you, you didn't do anything wrong, but we can open up some more space for everybody else. We have a Toyota minivan, GPP 5494. And if it's you, we'll just meet you out right outside the doors here, and I'll take you out and I'll show you where to park. And how about this is a New Jersey license plate number. It's a silver car. It's like a Subaru W39 PGM. Again, you didn't do anything wrong. We're just going to, there it is, Dave, thanks, all right. We're just going to move you so we can open up a space to open up the backyard. Hare Krishna. Sorry for that announcement, but it didn't break the energy. We just returned to Kirtan. Shri Nrisimha Bhagavan ki
Jai. Lord Nrisimha's not going to go after those cars?